Maybach,
Yeah,
Rose.
I think I'm gonna pull up right here.
We gonna change your life overnight, love.
Maybach music.
I took a lovely trip to Los Angeles last week. So our last night, we go out to the Standard. It's a hotel. They have a rooftop lounge spot. It was beautiful out. I could count every star in the sky, and we were right by the U.S. Bank building. Overwhelmingly, what I have to note about the night was I looked pretty goddamn good. Just so that it's established, I looked really good. Okay, fine. For the most part, it was kind of like I was there by myself, so I would take laps around, like walking around, checking out the scene, seeing who's there, and giving people opportunity to see me by myself. Because I was with my brother, which, whatever, that was fine, but, it could look like, you see me with the man, you think you're not going to go talk to a girl that's with the dudes. So I'm like, let me go take a lap, just give some people some room, try to talk to me if they wanted to do that, because I look good, and I'm sure somebody might have seen it and came to the same conclusion. So on one of my laps, though, this guy walks by and he's like, hello, how are you doing? And I was like, I'm good. How are you? And he's like, I'm good. He's like, what's your name? So I'm like, okay, so, action on me being macked up. He asked me something, and then he was just like, because I'm not from here, I'm just up here visiting. I was like, oh, me too. I'm leaving town tomorrow, actually. He's like, oh, really, where are you from? I was like, D.C. He's like, oh, okay. Yeah, I've been to D.C. I used to play out there. That's important. And I was like, oh, okay, where are you from? He's like, oh, I'm from San Diego. And I was like, yeah, San Diego it's cool. He proceeds, oh, I'm just there to get a check, I'm just there for work. I was like, oh, okay, what do you do? He said, I play football down there. I play for the San Diego Chargers. Now, let me just take a pause right here to just give some background on who I am and how that kind of statement is. I don't have words for it right now. But, okay, so pause. Pause at San Diego Chargers. I'm a football fan. Like, I know all the franchise names. I can't name really not one person on the roster. But back in 2006, I've been to a Chargers game. Was like in the owner's box. I know about the Chargers. That was 2006, though. I can't tell you not one person. I mean, is Philip Rivers still the quarterback? I can't tell you anything that they're doing right now. But I am a football fan. So that's important to note. Another note. I had been jokingly talking about, every time I take a trip somewhere where somebody important or like famous people are about to be, like at LA or Hollywood. I went to the Super Bowl earlier this year. I went to the halftime show. But, so whenever I'm going to be somewhere where like celebrities or athletes might be, I am known, for those that follow me on Twitter, for saying something about getting chose. It's more of a joke than anything, but then if it happens, it's like, well, swell. And I had made a joke before I left, like, okay, fine. So for this person to tell me that he plays for the Chargers, it just seemed a little bit too serendipitous considering how I had just got finished saying, let me go out here and get chose real quick. So for someone to just come up to me, it's just like, that is just a bit too well written, considering it wasn't written. And my initial reaction, I couldn't have caught it up if I wanted to, was I laughed. It was a hearty, like, wait, what? And I just was chuckling. I was dying laughing because I'm just like, stop playing. So they're like, okay, let me get my wits about me in case he actually is telling the truth. I was like, oh, that's usually my reaction. Like, oh, okay, you play for the Chargers. Okay, so, right. Okay, so yeah, so how y'all doing this season? Because I'm like, I'm familiar with the Chargers. So, how y'all doing? Oh, why you want to bring that up? This is him. Why you want to bring that up? I was like, oh, I'm sorry, I haven't really been paying attention. Y'all not. He was like, we're doing all right. We're doing all right. I think they actually are doing all right. But trust me, I was going to get to the bottom of it regardless. It's like I ask questions I know the answer to. So it's kind of like a quiz, even though I really didn't know the answer to their win-loss record. So if I turn on the TV it's on Sunday, I'm going to see you. He was like, you might see me on the sidelines. I was like, okay, and what position you play now? Oh, this is a big dude now. I'm just setting the scene. He's a defensive tackle. He's number 92. His name was AJ. That part is important. I think maybe I asked his position before I got to the name. All he said was AJ though. So if I really was trying to be invested in this, I could have and probably should have asked for his last name. I should have asked for his last name just so that fool could tell me that his name was AJ Green. Because I know who AJ Green is. I watch Hard Knocks. I'm riding with Cincinnati this year. I know who that is. So if he would have said that, I know AJ Green is a wide receiver and he's sleek. He's not a defensive tackle. I should have asked his last name so he could play himself for real. But regardless, I was like, I'm going to let him finish telling this story.
Let's talk about you and me. Both. Let's talk about tonight, baby. Let's talk about all the good things that could happen if you leave with me, baby. You can see I'm hating if you want to, but he can't do your body like a plan to, girl.
Attracting with that line, what's your name, what's your sign? Soon as she buy that wine, I just creep up from behind.